Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is best of the month for January 2025. This game was not going to be actually on my best of the month, but it's now my third most played Uwe Rosenberg game. Yes, Patchwork is number 2. You'll find out what's number 1, I think maybe later on in this video. But for now, I do highly recommend this game. This is a 1 to 2 player only game. This is by Silex. You can find other games by Silex just behind me over there too. Fantastic. It's basically the big box version of Iranian Burger Canal. And yeah, different publisher. It's got all the expansions from the original, which only came out a year prior. This is rare. This is got limited copies. It did sell out, I think, about 200 copies. Very fortunate to get this game. And yeah, the artwork, I love the artwork on the front cover. On the player boards, it was a bit dull initially, which put me off. But my rating has gone up and up and up, partially because still working through all the different decks of cards, very much like games such as, I guess, Agricola or Nusfjord and stuff like that. You have various decks you can play through. But this is a game whereby, like Fields of Valor, you can be playing 1 to 2 players, and there's lots of different options you can take, like in Feast of Odin 2. But there's fewer options, only 7 compared to 35 and 60 respectively. And it's a game whereby trying to get most points, getting out structures, getting points by activating those structures, by surrounding them by routes, which can be by canal, by rail, that's quite clever, by paths, which are basically clay paths, or by road. So there's 4 different things you can get out. It's an extremely tight game in terms of resources and resource production. It's a lot of pain in this game. So if you like your tight constricted Euros, this is for you. It is not long, about 50 minutes to play. It does say 60 minutes on the box, accurate, although I know elsewhere it does list as being 90 minutes. But we're whipping through games in under an hour. 2-point games, we're talking about 100 to 102 points. Some games can be under 100. We've had a high as like 180 odd, but mostly every game on average is around 100 points. And yes, lots of different cards to play with. The first player gets the advantage of having a 3 turns or 3 workers. They can place out 3 cogs, whereas the second player gets 2 money. And money is very important. It has Thalers, T-H-A-L-E-R, just like in Findorf as well, another German game, in this case by Freedom and Fries. As always, if I'm speaking too fast, you can slow the video down or rewatch it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for next month's video, but also make sure you check out my Uwe Rosenberg playlist, that 2-player playlist too. I've yet to play it solo. I do have a solo playlist, which at some point I might get around to trying as well. Yeah, it's nice, quick, smooth turns. You have that struggle of thinking about trying to maybe link up your canals to your rails or get nearby, because anytime you bring out a new piece of route, which is of canal, it's got a link to another piece of canal. If you bring out rail, it's got to link to rail, whereas paths and roads can go anywhere they like. Points in the game, you've got 31 spaces for routes, and you'll lose a point for each space that is not filled in, and yet you'll gain a point as well if you do happen to fill in a route space aside from using paths. So basically, if you place down a path over a blank space, you're kind of not losing 1 point,